Welcome to DeWitt 3D. Think it, make it. And good Sunday evening, everybody. Welcome to DeWitt 3D. Kind of want to change that music up, although I like that countdown music. It's not too bad at all. So, anyways, welcome everybody. I see there's some people on stream already. Let's see who is on. Mark will be back at 9. Shadow Fong Skycaller, first time here. Welcome to the channel, Shadow. I'll just call you Shadow. It's quicker. Welcome, Shadow. Travis, welcome. Thank you, Tripod. You guys are always here. SPC 3D. We have Non-Fam. And who else have I missed here that's on here? You guys are the only ones that are on chat so far, but I do see there are 13 people watching, so welcome to the stream tonight. I'm assuming my sound is working. Yes, it is. Does this mean everything is going to go good tonight? Yes. Well, I say everything, but setting up for this, I have had a radioactive scale. Good evening. And Gary. Hey, Gary, how are you? Thanks for popping in. I have... had issues with my lighting this week. I've got these, it's hard to see, but I've got these studio lights overhead, and they came with these twisty type, I don't know what you want to call them, incandescent bulb, it doesn't matter. They're like a fluorescent type twisty bulb, and 2 of my 3 have burnt out. So I'm looking at getting a couple of different ones that were recommended by my friend Richard from the First Layer. He showed me some of the LED style that he has, and I think they're going to be a whole lot better for me going down the road. So anyways, enough about that. I think I got the lighting looks pretty good, at least on camera here it does. So I think we're doing pretty good here so far. Aaron F. Good evening, Aaron. How are you? Thank you for popping in. So tonight what I'm going to do, you can see up in the corner right beside me here, I've had these Phaetus Dragonfly BMS Hotends for a while now, and I have been, well, if I look back in the chat earlier, Shadow had asked about any mods that we'd advise of, and Travis gave him a great piece of advice and said if it's your first printer, basically use it for a couple months before modding it. I agree. Just get used to it. Don't worry about the mods. My Ender 3 V2s have been working flawlessly for the first... I've had them for, what, a couple months now at least, and I've run lots of prints on them, and they've been working really good without any mods. The only reason I'm doing mods is because I can. I've had these hot ends sitting on my shelf for a couple months now. I bought them out of a recommendation from somebody. I don't even remember where I heard about them, but I decided I'll buy a couple of them, and these are ones that are made for the Ender 3 style hot end, so this should just be a simple quick replacement for it, so that'll be great. How did the resin print end up? Yes, thank you, Dixon, for asking that. Let's have a look at that. The resin print didn't end up too bad. I have a feeling, here's little Bernie here that was resin printed. I'll put him on the close-up camera though. He turned out not bad. Here, let's move this close-up camera a little closer. Let's put him on the bed of the printer here so you guys can have a close look at them. We'll throw some light on them, and then I'll make this camera a little bit bigger. Maybe a bit too much light. Let's just dial that light down a little bit, and let's switch to the big camera here. So we didn't turn out too bad overall. Could have been better. I have a feeling what happened with this, that's almost maybe too much light. Let's turn the light off and see if that's a little better. Yeah, my lighting down here is terrible tonight, and I do apologize for that. Here, let's get them down on the table, probably a little better. There we go. So not bad, but I know it could be better. I think what happened is it's too cold down here, and also it's the water-soluble resin, so I'm not too sure. So you can see some very faint layer lines there in his shoulder. So let's see. Yeah. So it's not, he didn't turn out too bad. You can see some of the marks on his back from the supports. So that's going to need some finishing, and then there's marks on the bottom from the supports and on the back of the legs. But overall, it didn't turn out bad. The details are there in the glasses. I think there could be some better detail, like in the feet, in the shoes, there's supposed to be some better stitching detail from what I understand and from what I saw on the slice model. But again, it could be the filament I'm using. It could be a number of factors. So, but as I say, I've got whoops. I have I've bought some Solutech resin. Solutech? I forget what brand it was. No, I bought a better brand of resin anyways that I'm going to try, but I think I've got to wait until my ambient temperature down here is a little better. Right now it's 18 degrees Celsius, which is kind of chilly, and I think even heating up the resin before I printed it, I think it helped, but I'm not sure if, you know, overall the cold ambient temperature down here would have hindered the quality of this model. I'm happy with it. Needs a bit of finishing, and I wouldn't mind painting it up a little bit, but yeah, I think he's pretty cool. He turned out not too bad, so that worked out well. I printed the chair the next day, and the chair was awful. I had one fail on the chair, but I'm positive that it's to do with the temperature down here. So we're going to see what happens in the spring. I'm going to play with that a little bit more once it warms up a little bit down here and see what happens. Oh, welcome back, Mark. FDM is not good for prints like that, but you can print the Bernie. FDM's not bad, but if you look here, let me show you. This guy, surprisingly enough, FDM, and he was printed on the Ender 3 V2. Let me get him on the close-up camera for you there, Shadow, just so you can see the job that printer can do for you. But this guy, he was printed. Whoops. Zoomy, boomy, yeah. So this was printed on the Ender 3 V2. Of course, there's a little bit of mess in the glasses there because that's really difficult for an FDM printer to do. This was printed at a 0.12 layer height, and he turned out really, really good for an FDM print of him. So look at and that's great, and that's on the printer that you're getting in. So of course there was a lot of supports on the behind and the bottom there, so there's some marks from the supports and underneath there. But yeah, overall that turned out really, really good coming from an FDM printer. Yeah. So yeah, you can still get some pretty decent stuff on these Ender 3 V2s. You just gotta, you know, keep. This is a small layer line, mind you. This was a 9-hour print too for that size, and this was 150% of the size that the model was designed for. So, yeah. So yeah, you can get some pretty good stuff. I need a heat chamber for my resin printer. Yeah, yeah, I know. Yes. We'll have to worry about the issue with the fumes and so forth too. So anyways, so tonight's stream, as I say, is we're just going to do a quick swap of the nozzle on the Ender 3 V2. I got a little bit of a head start on the game. Let me go to this camera here. So this is the one that I have at home. I have 2 more Ender 3 V2s at my office. The only modification I've done to this machine so far is, you can see I've put on a flex build plate. I put on this BQ, flexible BQ build plate here. And this was recommended to me again. My buddies over at the First Layer, Richard and Brian, they highly recommend these BQ flex plates, and it worked out really well. I'm happy with the print quality off of it. And on this one, I ran, just so I could have a nozzle comparison, I ran this model earlier today using that nozzle, the stock nozzle. So this is one of those little multi-test prints that I just found on Thingiverse. So it's an AIO 3D printer test, micro, and this is a small size. This is a 2-hour print. So the rate as it is, factory, hot end, and extruder, I think the Ender 3 V2 did extremely well. So there's the overhang test going from 10, 15, 20, 30, 45, all the way up to 80%. And if we look underneath, it did pretty good. I mean, even if you look right up at the 80% overhang, it didn't do too bad considering that's an 80 degree overhang. And it was pretty much perfect right up till about 60 degrees. And same over here, around 60 degrees, and there is where it went. So the overhang test on this thing, beautiful. And this is without much tuning on it. And this was sliced in Simplify 3D. And then there we have, whoops, sorry, the little pegs here. Those little pegs down here, right in here, are the stringing test. And it passed the stringing test with flying colors, I believe. I have this set at 4mm retraction, 70 millimeters per second. Okay. And then these little pointy things are they were called the sharp corner test. Now there's a little bit, it didn't quite get to the peak that it had on the file when it was sliced, but that's okay. It made those little pyramids, they came out pretty darn good. And then up in here, these ones that are coming along here, that's the bridging test, okay? So the bridging test, I think, turned out really well. So I believe that end one, let me check. I still have this file open on here. Where is my browser window? Did I close my browser? No, there it is. I'm just going to get that information. Yeah, so that's 5, 10, 15, 20, 25 millimeter. Okay, so we were looking at 2, 5, 10, 15, 20, and 25 millimeter bridging. So underneath, it's going to be hard to see from here, but even the 25 millimeter underneath, you can see, let me get my little pointer here. You can see in under there that, yeah, there was a little bit of filament sagging right under there. Oops, you can see it right in there from the bridging of the 25 millimeter. So yeah, definitely. I mean, well, after the first few layers of the bridge there, it did pretty good. And then if we look in here under the 20 millimeter, whoops, it's hard to do this backwards. So let's come back up here. So there's a 20 millimeter one right here. A little bit of sagging on those bottom layers there. But the 20 millimeter looks almost perfect. It's hard to get in here. This is a really bad view of it, I know. And my lighting's not the best tonight. But there we go. So under there, on the 20 millimeter one, the bridging is pretty much perfect. Starts to get a little saggy on the 15 millimeter, 20 millimeter, 25 millimeter. Yeah. And then these circles, I don't know a lot about what those were, but that was the, let me see what that was called. Those circles are called the, those are called the scale diameter test. Oh, okay, I think they're supposed to be 14 and 10 millimeter interior and exterior, and 8 and 4 millimeter interior and exterior on those circles here. So I haven't measured them. Where is my, I don't even know where my scale is, but I can measure those after. But anyways, the main thing I wanted to show was print this with the stock hot end. Hey Shane, how you doing? And Paul, I didn't say hi to you earlier, so I wanted to print this with the stock hot end. Oh, there's the other last test here. This was a tolerance test. Now on the tolerance test, sort of this is like the innie tolerances here, and then these were the outie tolerances, okay? But these tolerances, because I'm running a 0.4 nozzle and I was running a 0.2 millimeter layer height on this, I didn't get any of these until I got to a 0.25 width line, and then 0.26, I believe. And all the innie tests turned out pretty good. So, I mean, we'll see what happens with this other hot end if it makes a difference in here. But these ones here were the tolerance tests. So this one failed in a sense, other than the fact that it printed the last two. There should have been another 6 that went here, and nothing showed up. But all these ones did print, and it's really tough to tell because this is so small. But I mean, it looks like this is going to be pretty good for tolerance as well. Although it seems to really open up in around this area right here. So anyways, that is where we're at. So I'm going to switch out. Let's get back to this. So yeah, so that was that test I ran just because I didn't want to waste time running the, the existing stock nozzle on the live stream. So let me move this camera in a little different angle here for you guys. Whoops, while I do the change out here. So if I can get that angle to the behind, there we go. So that way our build camera is going to be here. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to take that hot end apart. It's cooled down now from my print. We're going to take this one apart. I'm going to switch the camera here, and then I'm going to also put the close-up camera on this screen for you guys, because that'll give you a couple different angles here. Let me add that close-up camera. Here we go. And then I'll just bring this down. Let's just say maybe over to this side. Actually, you know what? I'll put it up over top of my face. You don't need to see my face for this. There we go. Let me see if there's any questions going on here. No, no questions. Everybody's still just watching. That's good. Okay, so what we're going to do is I've not disassembled these hot ends before, so this will be the first time for me disassembling pretty much anything on this printer other than changing the leveling knobs and the springs and putting this bed on. But I haven't taken the hot end or extruder apart at all. So let's go ahead and take this hot end apart. I'll just turn the printer off. Now on this hot end, there are, from what I see, there's a couple of screws on the back that are holding the cover on. So we're going to remove those screws first. But I need my tools. And I believe this is going to be the size. Let's see. Yes, you know, I should actually bring this over here. There we go. Okay. And we're going to bring this over this way. And I think everybody should be able to see everything I'm doing with this. And I'm sorry, I know it's dark in here, but I can't get any more light in that area without my other lights working. So it'll be better for next week. This is one of the new Ender. This is the Ender 3 V2, Paul. Yeah. It's new to me. Well, newish. I've had them for, I don't remember when I did the unboxing of this particular one. So we're just going to undo this one screw in the back. And where's my tweezer so I can grab that screw out of there. Whoa. And this should be the, I'm pretty sure this is just the same standard hot end that is on all these Ender type Creality printers. Same as on the CR20 Pro I've had. Okay, so I'll open this up. Okay. Oh, so raise this up a bit more. Something's holding this in here. I think that's just a plastic clip. Yeah. There we go. Okay. So we have that. Yeah, that's just standard Creality hot end that we've all seen and loved. So I'm going to snip off this zip tie, give myself a bit of room in the wiring. Should not have to do any rewiring on this. There we go. We will remove this little coupler retainer. And take out the Bowden tube. Oh, that's tight. Maybe we won't take that out right away. Yeah, let's get rid of the sock. And let's take the hot end off of here. It'll be easier to work with. That Bowden coupler is tight. And what I'll do is once I get this hot end off, I'll switch over to the internet view and I'll show you the features of this Phaetus Dragonfly hot end. Why I'm excited to try it. Now, it's nothing new. I actually just saw a video. Whoops, there we go. I actually just saw a video of this. 3D Nero 3DP just did a review of this. I'm not sure if it was this particular BMS hot end, but he did I think it was the Dragonfly that he just did a review on, and I watched it. If you want to get into all the technical specifications of the types of metal, it is pretty much an all copper alloy hot end. And it's got a tapered, I'll show you these things after, but it's got a tapered heat break in there. If you want to get into all the technical details, Nero 3DP does a great job of giving you the technical aspects of exactly, he knows the more of the technical aspects of this more than I do. I can show you what they're going to talk about it on the website for it, but if you want to get into the technical aspects, go watch his video. It's great. And later on, I will leave a link to his video on here, so definitely worth watching. So let's just get back and get this hot end off. Okay, so we're going to remove the thermistor. It's one of these little ball thermistors. Unscrew this. Oops, I'm too high for the camera there. Okay. And there's a little grub screw right here. It's going to be holding in the hot end plug, whatever you want to call that doomer thingy. I'm so technical with my terms, I know. Come on. So this should be the right size. To remove this little grub screw, just loosen the grub screw, and this heater cartridge should just slide right out. There we go, and we're going to reuse those two again. Now, let's see about getting this Bowden tube out of the coupler here. That is extremely tight, so I am just going to undo the coupler. I guess I should have taken, remove my filament first. Oh well. I'm going to, I will do that. I will cut my filament and just do maybe a cold pull here. Yeah, I should have taken the filament out before I did this. What I think I'm going to do is heat up that hot end and get that filament out. Oops. So, oh well. See, it's one of those mistakes that happen on live streams. Let me cut the filament here. There we go. So, yeah. Oops, I'm so embarrassed. I'm going to heat up the hot end here, and just heat up the hot end here and get the filament out. It'll be a little easier. I should have done that, and what a dumb mistake. Oh well. Okay, let's heat the nozzle up here, and we'll get rid of that filament. So, yeah, in the meantime, I need to put the heater block back. Oh, I do. Oh, son of a gun. See? Good thing you guys are all here. Damn. It's not going to heat up very fast that way, is it? Jeez. Now the heater block's hot. Here, you guys can, this will be fun. Here, have some fun watching me do this with a hot heater block. Jeez. Okay. Yeah, I got to put the heater block and the thermostat back in. That's okay. That's what I like about live. I can't fake it. Where did I put that Allen wrench? Whoever told me that, thank you. Who said that? Joe. Yeah. Nobody else would speak up and say it. Everybody just wanted to see me struggle with this and say, why isn't it heating? Thank you, Joe. And I'll just put that thermistor back on. Turn it off first. It's off. It's off. But where's the fun in that? Oh, come on. Yeah. This camera's in a really weird spot here. There we go. Put that camera up a little higher so you guys can see if I actually burned myself here. Throw that back in there. Screw this back in. Come on. Ah, sure. Right on the floor. Ah! There it is. It's never easy, and I got really, really, really big fingers here. There we go. This will work. You're afraid I'd burn my fingers. Yeah, I know. Well, I've done that before. Raise. Oh, come on. Okay, this is becoming a comedy show, guys. Now I've lost that screw. Damn. Oh, here it is. Raise your hand who hasn't burnt their fingers on a hot end before. Well, maybe not everybody has, but hey. This thing is being difficult. Turning 45 degrees to the left and you're under 3V1. Oh, okay, well, yeah. Interesting to see. I just want to get this thermistor back in. There we go. Now we can heat her up. Get that filament out of there. Okay, sorry about that, guys. But that's what my channel's all about, honesty, and I don't pre-prepare for these things or pre-test them, so I make my mistakes live. There we go. Let's heat it up to 10 real quick, and we will get that out of there. In the meantime, I will show you. Hey Mika, how are you? Let's come on here and I'll show you the features of this hot end. There's my really funky screen. There's the test I printed. So this is the Phaetus Dragonfly on printed solids. Actually, I'll go to their main website here. So here it is here. And so basically the features of it are, it's mostly composed of copper alloy material, okay, which has the advantage of faster heating, better heat dissipation, okay, and it's got a conical shaped heat break fitting. So from what I understand, the conical shape has a better surface contact with the heat block here, which basically dissipates the heat a lot better than just the screw-in threaded type of to connect these two pieces, okay? And apparently this is made of two different metals as well, which prevents the heat creep from transferring. So again, if you go to Nero 3DP, he has a much better explanation of how that works. Yeah, so, and the heat break inner hole roughness, again, I don't know what the RA rating is, but apparently it creates smoother flow of filament down this heat break. So this is an all metal hot end, of course, right? So yeah, and then this just shows some samples, some different samples of the Dragonfly versus other hot ends, and you know the advantages and disadvantages of it. So yeah, but you can go to the Phaetus site, Phaetus site, and see all this information for yourself. As far as how much these things cost, here it is on Prima 3D, which is a British site, for £59.90, and on printed solids it's $59.90 US, but they're sold out at the moment. So yeah, but that's sort of the information about that. Let's go back to the build camera. So my hot end should be heated up, and I'm going to get this filament out. We are at 210, so let's just get rid of the filament that's in here. Let's do a quick purge and then we'll pull it out. There we go. And let's cool it down again. Let's just power it off. There we go. There we go. Get rid of the filament. Let that cool down a bit. Actually, I can, that heat break is cooled off. So, but now the Bowden tube comes out, no problem whatsoever. So, yep. Okay. Yeah, tripod, you're laughing at me, I know. It's kind of a cluster so far, but that's okay. You guys are just gonna see now, you know, yeah, he's taking that apart. Well, it's really hot. He's gonna burn himself. Nah, I'm gonna be careful because I know this screw is gonna be hot. For sure, and I know that the hot end cartridge is gonna be hot. So we will let that cool down, but it'll just cool down a bit if I take it out of here. It'll cool down a little quicker. There we go. So we'll just let you sit right there. and cool yourself off. And don't want to lose this grub screw because this is still a good hot end, the one I took out of here. So let's get this grub screw back in here. Yeah, nothing wrong with this hot end at all. It's still in decent shape. I mean, you can see how clean it is. It's had the sock on it, and so yeah. So let's open the. While we're letting that cool off, we'll open up and have a look at the Phaetus Dragonfly. I keep calling it Phaetus, and I think it's just pronounced Phaetus. But we'll have a look at the Phaetus Dragonfly here. We'll pull this overhead cam over here. Not the overhead, sorry, my close-up camera. There it is. Let's go to this one. There we are. Slide open the package. Dun, da, da, da. Your E3 Pro never extruded the first millimeter from the hot end before you changed it, you mean? Oh, you've got a Dragonfly BMS instead. Well, we'll see. It's supposed to be a good hot end. So in here we have the hot end itself. Okay. And it's comes with a sock on it. Nice looking hot end though. I mean, if there's such a thing as a sexy looking hot end, this is it. Look at that. It's nice looking. All copper alloy. So I'll have to tighten up the nozzle when I get it heated up because it's pre-built. It came pre-built. I'm not going to take it apart because there are a lot of tiny grub screws, like you can see just in here. Tiny grub screws. I just don't want a chance stripping anything on this right now. Yeah, but we got a couple grub screws in here. The one's going to hold the heater cartridge and one's going to hold the thermistor. So inside this came with the instruction manual, which I breezed through, but it's pretty standard stuff. How hot is the piece I just laid on the bed? This piece? It's cooled off actually pretty good. I can actually hold it now. So it's cooled off actually very fast. It's warm, but it's not too warm that it's going to burn me. So that cooled off extremely fast. Probably because the bed is cold, and it's cold down here, so yeah. Blue goes with the Ender 3 V2. Blue. Oh, the blue. Yes, it does. Actually, I see what you mean. Yeah, it matches the parts. And then what else came in here? Let's open this up. Come on. There we go. So we have a little package of goodies here. I need a manicure. Wow, look at that. I don't have hands for close-up shots. Come on, get out of there. Let me just rip this bag. Okay. Some tiny parts in here. I'm just going to make sure I keep track and don't lose anything. Oh, that was a good catch. It helps to have a big belly. I just caught everything that fell off the edge of the table there. Temp outside right now is about -29 Fahrenheit. So we have some tiny, so these, we have some spare screws, we have the wrenches, we have some thermal paste, we have a coupler lock, and we have 2 screws for mounting the hot end. We have some Allen wrenches, and I believe there are already grub screws in here. Let me just double check. Yeah, the grub screws are already in there. So these little screws, these are just spares. These tiny, tiny little screws here that you see, I believe, are just spares for down in here. Should one of those ones get stripped, should that have to be taken apart. And then this little guy is the thermistor that's on the Ender 3 V2 right now. So this little thermistor on here now, is that, yeah, that's all cooled off. So this little thermistor is one of those little ball thermistors, okay? So what's going to happen with that, as you see this hot end here, has a thermistor cartridge slot, which tightens down. So That's where this little piece here is going to come in. Come on. And the thermal paste. So this guy here, I got to put thermal paste on the bubble end, and then the bubble end slides into this, and then this is in turn going to slide into the thermistor, the cartridge right here, and tighten in. So they've given us an adapter for those bubble end type thermistors. So shorts and t-shirt weather, yes, yeah. Okay, so let's go back over to the build camera, and hopefully, man, I don't like the lighting, and I do apologize again, guys, but I'm going to do my best here to make sure everything shows up as good as it can. I'm going to order some of those new lights this week, and I'm actually going to bring this close-up camera right over there, and we'll even make that one a little bigger so you can kind of see everything that's going to happen here, and I'll try and keep everything on camera as close as possible. Okay, so what we're going to do first is get this little bubble ball thermistor, which should slide into this piece, and it does. It fits nicely, and it's going to be a friction fit, but we're going to put some thermal paste on it first. Okay, I have lots of thermal paste, but this should be plenty here. Oops, didn't even open. Come on. Let me get my little cutters here. Cut this open. There we go. Now we got a nice gray thermal paste. Watch, this is probably not healthy for the hands, but let me grab a rag here. I've touched worse. So we're going to put a coat of thermal paste on the thermistor ball. There we go. Put this aside. And we will slide on the adapter. That's a nice snug fit. And we'll just wipe that excess thermal paste off. Oh, that's really grayish, grody thermal paste. Yeah. After spending the night outside, you'll be able to start your own channel. For sure. There we go. We got the thermal paste all cleaned up. Okay. So let's go ahead. So this is going to mount onto here. That window's in your way here. Let's get this window out of the way. There we go. So this is going to mount right onto here. Let's see about the clearance on the bottom here. And it looks like there's going to be plenty of clearance and room for everything there. I don't see it comes close to that plate for the wheel here, but it looks like it's going to work fine. Yeah, I'm going to fit that. I'm going to dry fit that just to see. Okay. Here we are. Let's just dry fit it before I put anything on, just to make sure we're going to work. Just going to remove this Bowden tube retainer. Here we go. Get that one started. Get these little screws out of the way before I lose them. As you all know, I have a tendency to drop screws, and I end up finding them 3 weeks later and wonder what they were for. And we'll get this one on. I just want to make sure this is going to all fit nicely. It should be just pretty much plug and play. I was going to do the extruder tonight as well, the feeder up here, but I don't want to tackle too much at once. That looks like it is. I just want to see how close. See if I can get this camera over here. Just want to see how close that is sitting. I'm concerned about the clearance right in under here. I just don't want to make, I want to make sure that hot end is not hitting that plate back there. So I'm going to go around here and have a look. And it is clearing it. Yeah, oh, there's a good millimeter, 2 millimeters in there. So there's a good 2 millimeters of clearance in between. It's very close to this plate here, but I'm pretty sure the sock is going to fit over there nicely. So let's just try that and see. As long as the sock fits over, I'm happy. Might be snug. But no, it's a little snug. So there it goes. Not quite in the back. I may just have to cut a little bit of, it's just the sock is being hindered. Just if you look at my close-up camera, the sock is being hindered just in the back corner there, just a tiny bit. So we'll just assemble this, and if I have to snip this little corner of the sock off, I'm not going to worry about that too much. So, but I'm guessing I can eventually get it to fit, especially if I warm the hot end up a little bit. Yeah, I don't know if it's going to clear the sock. It's very, very tight, but I think I can get it to work. So, yeah. Okay. I think what I'm going to do while I'm doing this, let's just get this hot end on. I think I'm going to just, I think I will also switch my Bowden tube to some Capricorn tube, since I happen to have a lot of Capricorn tube here. Okay, let's just pop this off real quick. Okay. Yeah, there might be a slightly different gap. It's pretty tight, but as I say, I think it's going to work. Okay. So we will slide in the heater cartridge and the thermistor cartridge. So the thermistor cartridge is going in the back, heater cartridge in the front. Let's make sure there's going to be enough play in the wire here. There we go. Just like that. Okay, so let's tighten those down. Make sure that thermistor's right in there. Give that thermistor decent tightening. Make sure that ball doesn't pop out. There we go. Okay. Hey, NLTMW. Okay, well, while I'm here, let's just snip this. Just move these off to the side here. I don't like this scratching my bed up here. I'm going to put that on my bed here. Snip this. I'm just going to throw some Capricorn tube on here. Raise the camera here a bit so you can see what I'm doing. There we go. I'm just going to pop off this Bowden tube. There we go. And I happen to have, whoops, almost like I planned it, pack of genuine Capricorn premium PTFE Bowden tubing from XS, wherever, it doesn't matter. It's not an ad for Bowden tubing. So we're going to take this, and up here somewhere I have a handy dandy, somewhere up here I have, I said somewhere up here, oh man, I got too much stuff. Where did I put it? Okay. Well, I had a Bowden tube cutter, but that's okay. I'm going to be very accurate with a straight edge knife. So, get out the Dremel, trim the plate. Yeah, no, not tonight. So I'm just going to put this down on my desk here. So you guys can watch what I'm doing here. I'm just basically eyeballing the length with the other one down on the desk, and I want as straight a cut as possible with my sharp knife. There we go. And I still got lots of tube left over. So there we go. So we're going to just replace this one. Let's put the coupler lock back on. And let's mount the hot end. It is so cold down here, my goodness. But I'm not going to complain. It's not bad considering the temperature outside. And we've had a pretty decent winter here so far, you know. Only 2 major snowstorms so far this year. And the roads are in decent driving condition. Here, hold on, that other camera's kind of useless with my hand right there. Here, let's try that one. There we go, look at that. Look, 2 different views. How often do you get that? I'm just mumbling now. There we go. So, there is the hot end mounted. Let's move this camera. My desk is crowded. Oh my goodness, I need a bigger desk. But there it is, mounted in there with the heater cartridge and the thermostat mounted in. Now I will try and fit the sock. Okay, let's see what I can do here. I don't want to get my head in the way. I'm trying to make sure everybody can see what I'm putting up with here, or dealing with. Actually, you know what? This camera's going to be better from the back. Let's get you the rear view of me doing the sock. What the heck? It was in my way anyways. So let's see if I can squeeze that sock up here. Yep. And, oh, it's almost there. It is so close, although it's probably, and I got thermal paste all over the side of the sock, but that's okay. I'm going to see if I can grab my tweezers, move around this side of the camera, see if I can't just sort of force this sock up over. There's a gap there enough for the sock, but it's just that awkward spot. It's an awkward spot to get anything into to pull the sock up over the hot end. Maybe not. But the fact is I could run it just as it is if I wanted to. But I'm going to try a little harder here. Come on. Let's get this sock up over. It's fitting perfectly everywhere except the back. but it's working. I'm going to leave it just like that, and I'll worry about that after. Just because the sock is loose in the back, everywhere else is fine, and I have nozzle clearance under here, which is what I really need. So let's put the PTFE tube in here. Okay, and the coupler lock. There we go. So that is all installed now. So as you see, the sock, I had a little bit of difficulty on the back there with the sock, but underneath, if you look at the hot end, there's lots of clearance under here for the hot end. The sock is flat up against the heat block all the way around, just not sitting in the back properly, but I'll fix that another time. I think I just need to trim that sock a little bit. So, stronger bed springs, yeah. Flex plate you're going to like. Yeah, and mine's, that's all first thing I did was stronger bed plates, and I added this flex plate just because. There we go. Okay. I have a spare, actually it's almost pretty much a brand new spare hot end here now, so, which is pretty cool. I'll hang on to that. Now we're going to throw this back on, and then I'll get some zip ties to tie this up. Oops, okay, so I have a little problem here. This little guy didn't stay in. The little thermistor ball just popped out. Okay, that's not going to be good, so what I need to do is loosen this bottom screw up. Yeah! Why should everything go smoothly? I just didn't tighten that up enough. Obviously. Okay, I've got to pop that out. So I didn't tighten that up enough. So the issue I'm having here is my little thermistor ball popped out of the casing. Now I don't know, it should have been friction fit, but I'm just going to double check because I read the book and that should have just been a friction fit thing, but I'm going to see. I need my other glasses because I am blind. These ones, aha. Thermal conducting adhesive, it's sealed with that, okay. So I think the issue was I didn't let that sit long enough. Yeah, I did. Yeah, it's didn't hold it too well, but we'll see. And it doesn't need to hold it tight because it's actually in there quite tight. But I need to give a little bit more room, and I think that was the problem, is when I put it in, I need to get rid of this. Okay. So for something that was going to go really smooth for me, there we go. I need to put a little more paste on there. I've just wiped a bunch of it off. There we go. Whoops, that's way too much. There we go. Okay, that's a little better. Okay, that went in a little further and it feels a little snugger. There we go. Okay, that should hold it. Now I'm just going to make sure before I tighten, whoops. My fan is making a noise. My fan does that when it starts up. On this particular printer, I tend to get a little bit of fan noise, and then it quiets right down. So if you heard that, that's what that was. There we go. It kind of went zzz when it started up. And that's the way it is in all my under 3 V2s. Okay, let's make sure that that'll actually heat up, that I've got everything put together. Temperature, nozzle, 210. And the nozzle is heating up, so the thermistor's in there good. Everything's attached good. Let's just screw this cover back on and we will level the bed again. Quality Creality fans, yes. Most of the printers end up having that. My Mingda Rock 3, the one fan is really loud. I've got to change it out eventually, so yeah. Quality fans. If they would just spend a couple more dollars and put better quality fans in these things. Okay, let's just put this cover back on. There we go. And I'll put some zip ties back in here. The smell of a brand new Hotend burning in. Oh, that sock's a bit loose. I don't like the way that sock is fitting. Ah, there it is. There we go. Okay. And we're up to temperature already on the nozzle. Okay. So, before I put any filament in, actually let's get some zip ties. Let's zip these wires back together again. Hang on one sec, folks. Well, you don't have to hang on. I can talk to you all the way over here. I don't have any black zip ties. Do I have any black zip ties? I do have a whole bunch of black zip ties. Courtesy of Prusa. Whenever they send you spare parts, they send you a whole bunch of zip ties. Okay. I'm just going to secure these tubes again a bit. There we go. And one more ought to do it. There we go. Snip these off. Snip dingle. Snip dingle. snip. Okay. Oh, you know what I didn't do? But I'm going to leave it. I didn't tighten up the hot end. But I've already got the sock on. I wonder how easy that sock would come off for me right now. It's going to be too warm. Let's just leave it and see what happens. Technically, I would tighten up that hot end a little bit, but it came factory built. I don't know if they would have heated it and tightened it. I don't know. Should I or shouldn't I? I'm going to take a chance. I'm a gambler. So first thing I'm going to do before I put filament into this, since I have a hot end and a hot bed, I'm just going to level the bed again, because I'm sure that this is not exactly the same height of a hot end as the other one was, but you never know. So let's go ahead and home this. Prepare. Auto home. Okay. I'll keep this view here for you guys. And let's lower this view a little. There we go. Oh, I haven't caught, yeah, catches up on chat. I've got a little bit of chat to catch up on. Once I get this print going, I will catch up on some chat. I've been sort of focusing too much on the printer. Okay, yeah. Definitely need to, yeah, we're a good couple millimeters away from the bed. So I'm going to raise my Z up a little bit here. And I'm going to go ahead and adjust. Let me back that up. There we go. I'm going to go ahead and adjust this. You guys get a kick out of the way I say it, but I'm going to adjust this Z stop a little lower so I don't have to loosen my bed screws up too much. So I'm just going to loosen these up a tad, and then I'm going to lower this. Let's loosen this top one up a little more. Lower that about there. Okay, let's auto home again. Let's see where we fall now. Okay, we're a little low. Let's come up on the Z. Z, not Z. You guys can say all you want, but I'm going to call it what I want. I'm going to move the Z stop up a little more. Just up a hair, just a hair. So it's a fine line here. So I want to make sure it doesn't move when I loosen this. And I want to raise it just that smidgen. And the reason I'm doing this, I could loosen my knobs on my bed to level it and to make up for that gap, but I do not want to loosen the tension on those springs any more than I have to. So it keeps the bed much tighter and it less likely to go out of level in between prints. That's much better. Oh, that is almost perfect. Okay, so now I'm going to disable my steppers. Now we're just going to freely move the bed, and we're going to do the old paper leveling, and I hardly had to turn that. So that was very close. Oh, maybe a quarter turn on each, so that worked out well. So yeah, lowering that Z stop is the way to go, instead of having to loosen up these knobs a whole bunch. Okay. Z, 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 and make sure you turn the knobs the right way. Lefty loosey, righty tighty. And just like that, the bed is level. Let's check the middle. Oh, and the middle's even good. Look at that. I'm fortunate I have a relatively decent bed. Okay, I'm going to move my Z up again so I can load some filament. Okay. Google Chrome protection alert. I do not need Norton, thank you. So one annoying thing about a new computer is it annoys the crap out of me saying, keep Z enabled in case things want to shift. Yeah, I agree, but as long as you're careful, I've had pretty good luck with it so far. There was a part for the original ender to put a screw adjustment on that end stop. No problem with Z, yeah. Yeah, and I had to, with this end stop, this one here, there was actually a little tab that I ended up cutting off because it was basically, it would stop it at this extrusion right here. So I just snipped that little tab off with side cutters, and then I can move that thing up and down a whole lot now. So, okay, let's load some filament. I'm just throwing in some Prusa Galaxy Silver is what I had on here. So we'll throw the filament in. Oh, come on. Yeah, sure. You got to cut it at a better angle. I'm usually pretty good at blindly loading filament. Yeah, I got to disable those things eventually, but it was kind of a last second purchase computer type thing, or an obtaining of that computer. So okay, now oops, now let's go and extrude some filament to make sure we have filament coming out. Actually, I'm going to move the, there we go, and we have filament. We have filament flowing out of the new hot end. Nice stream. I shouldn't have to adjust my E-steps at all because it's not a new extruder, just the new hot end. I should just be able to go ahead and print. Yeah, go ahead, for sure. Old curmudgeon, be my guest. I'm pretty sure you should be able to since you have moderator status. Okay, so I'm going to run, where did I put it? Right here. I'm going to print this same file that I printed earlier with the other hot end, and we'll let this print and see what happens. It's going to print, it's going to be a couple hour print, so anybody wants to stick around, that's fine. I appreciate it, but I just want to see. And there we go. Let me just make sure this bed is in the right spot. I like this BQ surface. It's thin, but it works really well, and it makes a magnificent first layer. Okay, print should start up here. I will switch to this camera for now, and then I'm going to put the close-up camera down a little closer for you guys. And then I'll clean up as this print starts to go. There we go. So let's put this down here, and we'll keep an eye on what's going on here. So I have the G code set up. I stole some G code from my CR6 SE, so that it's going to pause right there while it gets to temperature. I had a custom G code made, a starting script made for me from the folks at Simplify 3D to help me out with my Maybe retune the Hotend PID. Yeah, let's see how it works. We'll see how it goes. Okay, purge line good. Let's do a little bit of Z offset here. Maybe tiny bit of offset on this. There we go. Oh, something's picked up. Hold on. There we go. I'm a little high. I'm not a little high. My layer's a little high. I'll see if I can get you under there so you can actually see what's going on there. Oh, my fans, something's... Okay, I got something dragging here. Hang on. I gotta stop, confirm. Okay, let's see what I did here. Yeah, I see what's happened. I made an oopsie. I didn't clip something in. My cooling fan is a little low. Something is dragging there. Either that or that nozzle is not sitting low enough and my cooling fan is too low. Shame, shame. I know. Hey, I'm no expert here, old curmudgeon. I am no expert by any stretch of the imagination. I am a hobbyist like everybody. I'm trying to do my best. Let me just pop this cover off. Let me see if I can... Yeah, so is that... Did I put that on wrong, or... I either put it on wrong, or that nozzle is sitting too high. And I need to... I will need to print myself an adapter or a spacer for that to lower that nozzle a little bit. It's supposed to be plug and play for this type of printer for this particular Hotend, so we'll see. Let's just see when I pull this off. It's possible that I just loosened something and didn't get this cover put on exactly the way it should go back on. But hey, you know what? Live and learn. It's the way I look at it. Okay. Let's bring you guys a little closer. Let's pop this off and see. Okay. I need my close-up glasses on. Okay. So I think, because if I compare how low this nozzle sat, oh yeah, okay. Plus, that is a longer nozzle. That's sort of like an extended nozzle, so that could very well be the issue, is that I need to somehow raise this part cooling fan. Not much, it's like a millimeter. Or I've got to lower that nozzle somehow. This I didn't expect. You see, that's why I didn't practice this. I didn't pre-plan this or practice it to make sure it would work, because I wanted it to be a real life trial as to how this was going to work. So this is going to be maybe a fail stream, but hey. Yeah, definitely I think that's the issue, because that was put on back on correctly, just like that. And yeah, I should have noticed that. It's about a millimeter too low. Yeah, I do have other printers to make parts, I do. And that's what I'm going to have to do is somehow, I'm going to have to make an adapter to lower that print head a little bit. But I think it's very doable. So yeah, so I'm going to have to come up with something in here that I can screw in and then just lower that print head slightly, and then that'll also help me with the clearance of the shoe with the of the silicone sock. So, well, I don't want to design and print a piece on this live stream because I've already taken up an hour and 15 minutes of people's time. So I will have to definitely print a part and adapt that, but that's good. And then that way I can throw a part up on Thingiverse if I get it to work for me. Wow. You're waiting on someone to accuse you of doing time lapses. Oh well, welcome to my live stream where I failed to do my I set a goal and I failed to meet that goal because I ran into a snag that I really don't want to fix on the live stream, but I will while I'm on here. I may as well, since you guys can chat away, and I'll just disassemble this real quick and I'll sort of have an eye and see maybe if there's a different way to do this other than printing a part, but I don't think I can get away without printing a part for this. I think that's the way it's going to have to work. I don't want to swap. I could put a different nozzle on, a little longer nozzle, but that's kind of defeating the purpose of having this this whole hot end sort of doomer thingy. So let's just see. Don't think there's anything I can do differently right now, but I'm going to double check and see. Glass plate, the problem, Senza, that I'm having, it's nothing to do with the build plate, it's the nozzle. So basically it's all up in the hot end, nothing to do down here. This hot end is sitting about probably 1 millimeter, 2 millimeters higher than the original hot end that was on there. And so the cooling fan is, the parts cooling fan, which is right here, is now sitting too low. So it's actually scraping the print off the bed. It's not hitting the bed, but it's scraping the print off the bed. And that's cooled off nice and fast. Well, that'll sort of kill two problems with one fix, because if I lower this, and it doesn't have to be lowered much, that'll probably help with the sock fitting issue. So, but that's the only way I can think of to lower it, unless I could loosen the nozzle and I could lengthen the heat break. No, I don't know if I want to do that. Hey Dan, how you doing? Welcome to my failed stream. Ha! Man. Well, this gives me something to do or talk about next week. I'm running out of Sunday stream ideas, but let's get this Bowden out of here. Actually, I should undo the. Let's heat it up. Let's not do the same thing I did before. Let's remove the filament. Let's just heat up the nozzle here and get rid of the filament. Then I'll take that back apart, and then I'm going to have to design a piece to lower that a bit. Yeah. I was thinking I could, I don't want to mess with the heat sink and expanding that gap in order for me to lower the nozzle. I don't want to run into any issues there. So I'm not going to mess with it. I'm going to thank you, Shadowfang, for subscribing. I'm going to design and print a piece to fix this, and do that slight mod, and then yeah, hey, why not? Let's get rid of the filament first. Okay, what's happening in chat? Well, this is on. Just hold the fan. It will be all good. Just hand hold the fan. Yeah, I will. Yeah, Mika, you're right. It's never failed. It's a learning stream. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, it's learning. And again, I could have pre-done this. I could have, you know, swapped the hot end out and done it and made sure it worked, and then put it back and then did the stream. But to me, that's not, that would be not genuine. I want to show any issues that I'm having. Like right now, that thermistor's falling out again. So I gotta figure what's going on with that too. Okay, we're hot enough. I can pull the filament out. There we go. So I got a couple things to fix on this. So a couple things happening here. So basically, let me pop the power off here again. So a couple things I'm seeing are issues here. So this ball thermistor is not easily staying in that little adapter that came with it. So they do say in the book, I will say that it does say in here to use, where's my other glasses here? I hate that. It does mention, but they don't give it to you. They give you a thermal grease, but they do mention using a thermal adhesive, a thermal conducting adhesive attached. Well, what they give me is not a thermal adhesive, it's a thermal grease. This is not an adhesive. So you definitely need some sort of an adhesive to keep that's still hot, to keep that probe, that thermistor probe in there. So that's something I'm going to work on. And then I have to lower this whole hot end assembly by about 1-2 millimeters at the most, in order for it to properly align with the stock heat parts cooling fan. I don't want to mess with any of this because that sort of defeats the purpose of what I'm doing this for. So I'm going to leave this as it is, but I'm going to come up with a way possibly to have an adjustable piece on here so that when I put it on, I can adjust the height of this and then snug it right up. And that way I can get that perfect in line with that part cooling fan. So yeah, so that's what I'm going to do. You did miss a lot, BCK, Brian, yeah. But you're not missing a whole lot. So because it's kind of a failed attempt, because there's a couple issues that I've got to address with this hot end before I can actually get it to work properly on here. So nothing really bad. Just I've got to design a part, and I have to design a part for it, and I've got to find myself some thermal. Okay, that's still hot. I got to find myself some thermal adhesive as opposed to thermal paste. Okay, we'll let that cool off a bit. I mean, the thermistor worked. It's just not staying in there the way it should. So, and I don't want to crimp it, because if I crimp it in, it's not going to slide into that hole too easily. So, oh, Super Bowl. Yeah, I don't. Yeah, crimping would shatter the bulb, and crimping would also, it wouldn't go into the hole smooth. It needs to be literally glued in with thermal paste, thermal glue. Yeah, no, I don't want to squeeze it. I don't want to crimp it that way. So, but I can loosen off. Let's see. So what else is new, guys? Sports ball game. Yep. And this, what's going to happen with this? It's going to force me. There we go. Let's pop that cartridge out. There we go. So yeah. So all I need to do is figure out a way. I'm going to check and see. I'm sure that it's available. A thermal adhesive. So when I put this little ball thermistor in that adapter, I can just put adhesive in there and it'll like glue it in. How hot is that going to be? Okay, that's hot. And it is a little bit, let me wipe the paste off of here. It bent it a little bit from the grub screw. So, I don't know if you'll be able to see on the close-up camera or not, but there's a tiny, tiny, you can see a tiny dent in it that the grub screw did. There we are. Little dent that the grub screw put in it, but not enough to hold the ball in there. So yeah, I have to find a thermal adhesive in order for that to work properly. Okay. And there we are to that. Let's just grab this off of here. Oh, wrong wrench. I have too many wrenches. Too many wrenches. And I have to put my, that's cooled off. Actually, that's maintaining. That is not, let's dump those there. That's not cooling off as quick as the other one did. And I think this holds heat a lot better being a copper alloy. So, yeah. So I need to, for those of you who are just tuning in, I need to somehow print a piece so that this hot end sits lower, or ideally if I could come up with something where I can help it ride up and down. I think out, it's not going to be, yeah, I don't want to come out. It's got to stay in the same distance, but just down 1 or 2 millimeters so that the cooling fan on here, the part cooling fan, does not hit the table, hit the print bed. Or hit the print. So, you, my friend printer, shall stay apart until I figure this all out. Yeah. You had suspicions it wouldn't stay when I started. Yeah. Yeah, that's, I mean, it would probably work a little bit, but I'm sure it would work its way out. So yeah, I'm going to have to, that definitely has to be glued in. So yeah, boy, does that ever maintain its heat. That is not cooling off nearly as quick. So we'll just put that right there. Let that cool off. So, well, this is going to be one of my shortest live streams because really that was sort of my goal, was to get that on there and working, and to print another one of these so that we could compare. Although, my goodness, this particular one for a stock hot end and a stock Ender 3V2 turned out incredible. So, yeah, yep. Raising the fan shroud would be preferred over lowering the hot end. Yeah, that's true. You know, I'm going to look at different options. That's true. I'd have to see what I can do in here. There's probably got to be a way to lift that a little bit somehow too. Even if I put that on a plate and raise the whole. Yeah, that's a good point. You know, that might be, that's not a bad point there, Joe. Because yeah, messing with the hot end, you don't want to cause any play, etc., in it. You want that to be as solid as possible. So, you know what, Joe, that's not a bad suggestion. Figuring out a way instead to adapt this to raise it a little bit. I mean, there's probably some mods out there for this already. but I don't want to stray too far away from this design. I'll look into that and figure out what I can do. This is new territory for me because I'm usually just doing the simple mods that don't require me to do any thinking. But hey, thinking's not a bad thing. I could shave this off a little too. I could print a new part. I could take this all apart and find this and print a new part for this. It's a little higher. Keep the same angle and just print that little part a little higher. So I'm not worried about the design. The design of it would be pretty simple to do in Fusion or something. So that's what I'll do. But then I also, as I say, I also do need to find a thermal adhesive just to keep that whole thing in check so it doesn't slide out so much. There we go. There's the other one that I haven't unboxed. I have another one there, so learning all the lessons on this one. But I need to gather up all these screws and parts so I don't lose them. $5 points to Joe for a solid suggestion. We'll give him 9 points. Dremel? No, not on the plastic part. I'd rather print a new part. I'd rather just print that new part. Oh, it's not going to make it on camera. I'd rather just sort of print this part right here. That'll cut easy with a knife, actually, even with a sharp knife. But I'm going to take it apart and see what's involved in that whole thing. I've not taken this. This part apart with the fans in it yet. So I'm going to strip that apart and I'll see what's in there. And I'll see what I can do out of that, and maybe while I'm at it, I'll replace the fans. We'll see. I have some fans on my shelves here, but I just don't know if they're the right voltage. What are these fans? Are these fans 24 or 12? These are 24 volt fans. Yeah, I don't think I have any 24 volt fans in my shelf. Little metal plates and then screw holes in them and then be adjustable plates. Yeah, that's another possibility too. So thermal glue on Amazon. Okay, thanks, Joe. I'll have a look at that and order some of that too. I've got to, there was a couple other things that I was going to order on Amazon. What was it? Oh yeah, the lights. I've got to order the lights from the ones that have burnt out too. So I'll put an Amazon order in this week and hopefully get some thermal paste. And then maybe what I'll do is next Sunday, I will come up with, I'll figure out what I'm going to do and we'll do that on my next Sunday stream. So I'm not in a hurry to get this running. I don't need this printer for anything at the moment, but I thought it was going to be fun to do. So, and it was fun to do. So yeah, you guys are giving me some great ideas. I want to bring the chat window down here so I can see you guys better. I'm looking up I've got 2 different monitors going with the chat window. I got my laptop down here and I got the big screen up there. I need thermal glue, yes. Definitely want thermal glue. It's got to hold that, I'll put this piece right here. It's got to hold that little ball end in, that little ball thermistor in this tube, in the interior of this tube somehow. So yeah, it's got to be a glue. Because you can't crimp this. You definitely don't want to crimp this, but it's going to go in there. The thermal paste is going to go in there to get the thermal conductivity, but it needs something that's going to hold it in there. So, yeah. Boom, boom. Let me bring this chat window down closer to me. Ah, there we are. I don't have to kink my neck to watch the chat. Did I miss anything important in the chat? Still 23 of you on chat, and I do appreciate it very much. 15 likes, I really appreciate it. Oh, Ethan's dad. Marcus, I didn't see you pop in. Hello. I've probably missed so many people that have popped in because of my focusing on this thing over here. So I'll do my cleanup a little later. We're at 8:34. I generally go till 9 o'clock, so I can hang around and chat if anybody has any questions. Anybody have any suggestions of what you guys, anything specific you guys want to see me do on any one of my streams, because I'm open to ideas. I'm waiting for some printers to come in from Kickstarter and so forth. And if you guys want to see any printer comparisons, I do have a relatively decent collection of different printers. If you wanted me to run something in the FlashForge versus the Prusa MK3, or Prusa versus the Ender 3 or the CR6 SE, you guys are welcome to make any suggestions. Headstand on stream. Okay, let me just do one thing here. Okay, you want a headstand. Okay. Let's see, how far back can you guys see me here? Oh, no, maybe over here. You can see me here. Okay. A headstand. You've seen my girth. You've seen, okay, you're sure. Somebody, if there's anybody local watching, have 911 ready on your stream, on your phone. Okay, if you think I'm actually going to attempt a headstand on stream, you guys are crazy. You guys are crazy. You wish. CR30 print mill shadow. From what I've seen, I like it. I think it's a great machine. I think you can do some different things. I think there's a lot of, it opens the avenues to a lot of new ideas. Don't do it. I won't, Marcus, trust me. I've got the CR30 coming. I don't know when. It's going to get here in March, April, hopefully March, and a few. Yeah, and I'm going to be doing, hopefully, if all goes well, I'll be doing I don't even know what you'd call it, but I'm going to be streaming with my friend Richard Richard and Brian from the First Layer to do the unboxing and build of that printer. So I don't know if we're going to do it on my channel, if he's going to come here, or vice versa, if we're going to, anyways, but we're going to hopefully do a collaboration of that. That's what we have planned right now anyways, so for when that comes in. I have the Kaiwu coming in. It's actually en route right now. It's somewhere in the ocean between China and North America. No, Joel Telling's adjustable clamp. Did he do it on the CR30? No, I haven't seen that yet. So I'll have to have a look for that. Headstand and sing the national anthem, Matt. Okay. And sing the Canadian national anthem. Okay. Oh, Canada. Okay. Maybe next week. I'll just get in a little better shape. So we will see. Well, I want to see. I'll have to have a look at Joel's adjustable clamp then and see. He's done some pretty inspirational stuff, but I'm looking forward to actually doing some designing stuff to print on that big printer. Don't lose these parts, Tim. There we go. I'm going to dwell into the world of print finishing. I brought in, where did I put them? Where did I put it? I keep moving stuff. Oh, right over here. I'm going to go out of my comfort zone. I brought in some paintbrushes. They're nothing fancy, just from Amazon. And I brought in a box of acrylic paints. 20 colors acrylic paints. I have a few things here that I've printed that are printed in white PLA that I want to sort of try and smooth out and try my hand at painting, because I'm not an artist, but I think I can paint simple stuff. I can't paint models like, for instance, like Jerry. You guys all know Jerry, 3D printing and painting. No way I could ever be that's talent that you're either born with or you're not, I think. But, oh, you got the same brushes, Marcus? Cool. But I'm going to try that. I'm going to try my hand at painting. So stay tuned. So, Jerry, I was just talking about you, comparing the fact that I would never be a painter like you with the way you paint your models with that little set that I just got myself. So I'm going to try it. Who won the Super Bowl? I don't even know who was playing. No, you know, I really don't care. It doesn't matter. 3D gloop stuff. I think you mean, yeah. I know, speak of the devil. There you are, Jerry. It's like your ears were burning or something. Somebody just mentioned 3D gloop. Now, where is... I have no idea what this stuff does. I bought this stuff a while back, and I haven't used it yet. Oops, my laptop just did something weird. Let's not continue. What's going on here? Anyways, I bought this stuff, and it's supposed to be a brush-on coating for 3D printed parts for smoothing the surface, getting it ready for painting or something. So I've had this for a long time. And it's a two-part, you mixed A and B. Oops, A and B. But I've not used it yet, so that's something I can try down the road. Oh! I don't know what I just installed, but my laptop just told me to install something, and I said, sure. And now my YouTube screen's gone, but that's okay. Lots of sanding, yeah. It's the sanding I don't like. I liked Michael's latest video about not sanding, and he used this same stuff that you used to coat the back of a pickup truck or beds of pickup trucks. It worked out really well actually for him. I like that idea. I may look into that. Oops, wrong keyboard. I got too many computers here. Well, not too many computers, too many keyboards, and I got way too much stuff on my desk. I'm just a little disorganized right now. I'm a little bit, I'll be honest with you guys, I'm a little bit out of sorts or a little bit kerfuffled about the fact that that whole thing didn't work for me. So, but that's okay. There we are. Okay, old curmudgeon, thank you for popping in, and yeah, thanks for all your tips and everything. Yeah, I'm going to stop at 9, probably another 15 minutes or so. Okay, Jerry, you got to finish the dishes, you got to do your duties, that's for sure. Good man. Let me put the rest of this PTFE tubing away. I got 3 pairs of glasses plus the ones I'm wearing. I need a pair to read these screens, then I need a pair to do other stuff. I'm going so blind. Marcus, you want to see a print of the 1-inch on the Ender 3, Prusa MK3, and the Flash Forge. Oh, I can't see the rest of that message. Let's see. Your bets on the Flash Forge. Okay. A 1-inch miniature. Okay, that's good to know. I've actually, I haven't got any miniatures STLs, but I'm going to get some. I supported a Kickstarter. I forget the guy's name. And I'm going to get a bunch of miniatures pretty soon. FDM filament recommendations for a noob. Oh, wow. It just depends where you are, too. A lot of the guys online, if you're in the U.S., a lot of the guys online from the U.S. know the good U.S. suppliers because there's a lot of good filament down there that I don't get because it's just too expensive to ship it up here. But as far as filaments that I've used, I'm a fan of Prusament. It's more expensive, but it's great quality filament. I like Arion's filaments. Their silk filaments are great. And I buy a lot of filaments off a company up here called filaments.ca. So, yeah, if you're in Texas, there's a lot of good filaments in the U.S. and a lot of the guys online here now that are from the U.S. can recommend some good filaments down there. Who's the brand that makes the Jessie PLA? It's supposed to be really good. Yeah. Lower price helps. Yeah. See, there are some decent low-priced filaments out there, but again, if you're going on Amazon and buying just looking for cheap or low-price filaments on Amazon, it's sort of a hit and miss game. So spool 3D wood filament. Off axis, I have a roll of that sitting back here somewhere. I've yet to run a successful print with it. So wood filaments, a whole other ball game. If you were to get on the Sunday show with Richard in the first layer, I think I've seen you on there before, but he has some good suggested settings for running wood filament. So printed solid Jessie PLA. Thanks, Travis. That's the one. That's supposed to be pretty good filament as well, the printed solid stuff. So yeah. So what else did I do? Nothing. Nothing. Because nothing worked out for me tonight. But that's okay. That camera's just sitting here doing nothing. I should really point that camera somewhere else, more interesting than where it is. I got this, I finally found my little Olympus Air. I don't know if you guys have ever heard of this. This is a cool little camera. It's called the Olympus Air. I got it a long time ago. So basically that right there is basically an SLR minus the body, or DSLR minus the body. So basically what happens is you turn the power on. It's got a built-in zoom lens, and you pop the back open and you can put your phone on here, and your phone basically acts as a screen for the camera. It's a 20 megapixel camera. These are I forget what kind of lenses these are called, but so it's interchangeable lenses. So if I were to power this off, so this lens comes off, and I have a bunch of different. This is zoom lens, and this is the it's a small format DS. Like this is the camera basically right here, and I have a bunch of different fixed focal length lenses, f2, f1.8. Really, really good quality camera. It was buried away for a while, and I just found it. I'm going to start using this for recording some of my videos. So really cool camera. Amazon affiliate link for what? I don't have an Amazon affiliate. I'm not a big enough channel yet, but what is it you need a link for? Y'all. I like saying y'all. Y'all have a good week. Yeah, I'm at about, where am I? I'm at 418 subscribers. I got a little bit more. Oh, this camera, I don't know if you can get this camera anymore off axis. Check out the Olympus website. Let's just see. Since I got you on here for about another 10 minutes, anybody who's watching, let's just have a quick peek and see. Does my microphone work on this one? It does. So let's go here, let's pop open, and let's just look up Olympus Air camera. Let's see if they're still available. Air A01, this is the one that I got. Oh, it's only 16 megapixel, I lied. So this is it here. No, I don't want savings and tips. Duh. So this is the Olympus Air here, so yeah. And it comes in black and white. Okay, and it's standard 14 to 42 lens, which is what I have on it right now. So we have a 16 megapixel sensor, many shooting modes, autofocus, touch, so basically you touch the screen on your phone, and it focuses and shoots your picture. It's a micro four thirds camera. It captures RAW. It's got a great app for it. 1080p video, 10 frames per second shooting. So it's basically got all the features of a high-end camera. And this is what I like about it, what you're seeing in this image right here, is you can get right down to the ground and you're holding your camera. So your camera is your view screen. Right down to the ground, do some close-up. I've got a macro lens for it. And then imagine you can hold it up over your head if you want to shoot over the heads of a crowd or something, and you just have your phone down below. It takes a little bit getting used to, but it works really well. So it's a great little, here, there's a little video on it. Oh, no, it's going to be a boring video. But anyways, if you're into photography, it's a pretty decent camera, and as I say, any micro four thirds lens will fit it. So yeah, that is, oops, let's get back to this. That is that camera. Did I get back to my screen? There we are. Yeah, it's a pretty cool little camera. Okay, Dan, thanks for popping in. We will see you during the week, I'm sure. You know, I always try and get on your streams whenever I can. And thank you for popping on, and thank you for the encouraging people to smash that button. Only 500 for Amazon affiliate, Marcus? Okay, I just saw that comment. Didn't know that. I will look into that. I'm still 80 away. I'm hoping to do a 500 giveaway. I don't know, it's going to be really tough to match what Dan did when he did his 300, but I have to build up the nerve to talk to some suppliers for sponsoring my giveaways. I'm not really good at doing that, but I'll work the nerve up and do that. I'll talk to them and see what we can do. Yeah. You can apply to be Amazon affiliate on their site. Oh, okay, because they're not related. That makes sense. Okay. Okay. Yeah, we'll have a look and see. I'll see what happens. But I think my goal is to get to the 500 by spring. You know, March, April. We'll see. I'm getting a couple a day, which is great. I'm not doing this for the money. I'm doing this because I enjoy doing it, and I like hanging out with you folks. You're back, Jerry. Yay. Oops, moment of silence. Okay, 7 minutes. Quitting time. Well, we could just wrap it up now. I could make it a record short stream for me. But yeah, okay. So for those of you that have hung out this whole time, I do appreciate it. And I know you just got back, Jerry, but I think I'm going to wrap it up because I've pretty much done all I can on this. So as we were aware, if we recap for those who didn't see the whole thing, the idea was going to be to fit my under 3 V2 with the Phaetus Dragonfly Hotend. Ran into a snag where the Phaetus Hotend, so this is the Hotend I took off the under 3 V2. It's the standard Creality, there we go. It's your standard Creality Hotend. And the issue I ran into was with the Phaetus Hotend on there. Right where those mounting screws were, you can almost see it if I hold these two side by side. The Creality nozzle, oh, this angle makes it look even worse, but the Creality nozzle sits a lot lower, or a fair bit lower than the Phaetus nozzle is sitting. Okay, and so the issue that I ran into with that was when I put this back on, the fan shroud, the whole cover back on, the cooling fan, part cooling fan duct right here, was now sitting almost at the same level as the nozzle, pretty much even, if not a little lower than the nozzle. And as it was going across, it was hitting the filament on the first layer, just knocking the filament off the bed. So I need to come up with a way to lower this raise this Hotend cooling fan slightly, a millimeter, 2 millimeters, whatever. So that's something I'm going to work on this week. And then also on the Dragonfly Hotend, instead of using the ball thermistor right here, like the Creality one where you just put that little screw in to hold it in, this one actually uses a thermistor cartridge that plugs in to the bottom of the Hotend like this, and then the ball thermistor actually goes into this little adapter. Well, it wasn't staying in there, so I need to find myself a thermal adhesive so that I can put this ball thermistor basically has got to go in here. Oops. It's got to go in there, but it's got to stick in there. So I need an adhesive, a thermal adhesive, so that cannot come out. So I got to check and find a thermal adhesive to do that. So that is basically what I was attempting to do tonight, but I wasn't prepared for the fact that I was going to have a difference with the height of the park cooling fan. So I'll check on Thing or Yegi for a mod. Somebody might have already made that modification. I'll definitely check that before. I don't like reinventing the wheel if I don't have to. So yeah, the cartridge for the heater is much better. The bulbs do suck. So, but I'm pretty sure there's somebody earlier said that they did check on Amazon, and there is a thermal heating adhesive that I can get. So I'm going to look up that and see. Grind it off. I guess I could grind it off, Matt, but I'd like to keep it as clean as possible. We'll see. I haven't decided yet, so I haven't really decided how to work on it. So, but I'm gonna cut it off here. Thank you everybody for tuning in. I appreciate everybody sticking around and your patience and the fact that I didn't meet my objective tonight, but I will meet my objective eventually. Probably next Sunday we'll do a stream with this. Or it could be something else. If I fix this during the week, maybe I'll just do a video of it and post it. But I get pretty busy during the week with my full-time job, so I don't really have time to do any video producing yet. So this may just carry into next Sunday's stream where we finish this up. So thanks everybody for popping by. I do appreciate it. If you haven't hit that like button, please hit the like button. Excuse me. If you're new and you haven't subscribed, I appreciate it if you do subscribe. But I want to wish everybody a wonderful night, and we'll talk to you guys all next Sunday. And everybody have a safe week wherever you are. Stay warm, stay safe, and drive careful if you're in a climate where there's a lot of snow. Jerry, you don't have that problem, but a lot of you guys I know do. So everybody take care, have a wonderful night, and we'll talk to you guys later.
Welcome to DeWitt 3D. Think it, make it.